All right, my man, state your name and let them know you on Real Talk with Nick.
Hey man, my name is Grizzly Solomon, and as you heard, I'm with Real Talk with Nick,
That's what's up,
making
man.
it do what it do.
All right, man, as y'all can see, my man is a Nick fan, wearing the attire up and down. I got to
Of
ask you,
course,
brother, who's your favorite player when we speak of these Knickerbockers?
of all times, Pat. But I can't say not just Pat. My boy John Starks, of course, I gotta rep him as well. The good, the bad, the ugly. But as all time, my son Patrick Ewing, you already know.
Okay, now I'm going to start this interview off by asking you one simple question. If Pat and Bernard King played together, would have had a chip?
Most definitely, without a doubt.
Think so.
I think so because what happened would have been the situation where Bernard King would have been able to continue to do what he did after he got traded to the Bullets. That was back when Washington was called the Bullets. He came back better than ever. He would have had a situation where Patrick Ewing would have been able to play with another superstar, someone that he can learn the game from, defer to him until it was time for him to take over. There's no doubt in my mind they would have definitely had a chip together.
My question is, why do Knicks let go good players, man?
Well, unfortunately, but realistically speaking, we had too many people in the front office for a real long time making the decisions. When reality is the coaches and the coaching staff should have been the ones to delegate who stayed and who didn't. Unfortunately, we let go some pieces, and that's just part of our history. But I'm still, nevertheless, Knicks all day, every day.
Okay, now I'm going to bring it up to speed, man. We got a new captain, man. And we speak of that of Jalen Brunson. Okay. Is Jalen Brunson that guy, man, to bring that Holzman status?
So as it stands so far, he has put all the naysayers to cease. So as it stands, I would say that yes, he's our guy. He's going to be the one that's going to lead the ship into proving otherwise. Because when he was afforded the chance and opportunity, when Randall went down, we all know what he did. He stepped up and he put this city on his shoulders, man. What can I say?
So you have no concern when we speak of that of Jalen Brunson. You like his game?
I love his game.
Is he a pass first point guard, or is he a point guard that tends to go nuts sometimes? How you view Jalen Brunson?
So it's a double-edged sword. At times, he definitely know how to get the ball to whoever he need to get it to. He's very selective. I feel like at times he passes the ball to who he knows is going to give it back to him. But I felt like at the same time he was in a position where he had to step up and take the bulk of the shots and make sure that we compete and win at the same time. So, the tandem of Julius and Bronson was kind of faltered, or not even kind of, it was set to the side because of the injury with Julius. Let's see what they do this season. I think they can make it happen if they develop some type of chemistry in the offseason, of course.
Okay. How did you feel about the departure when we speak of that of Obi and RJ Barrett?
I felt like...
And quickly.
Okay, so I felt like, the necessary trade was made to get OG. We're talking about a two-way player who happens to not just play in the system or the offense, but also become a lockdown defender for the 1, 2, and the 3 position. So letting go Andre Barrett and quickly for Anunoby was a smart move. Because of the fact that he's been dealing with injuries since he stepped on the court for the Knicks letting him go to get someone like, Miles Bridges in return, who happens to be a very rangy player, somebody that can extend the offense with his ability to shoot from the outside, and someone that might not necessarily lock down like OG, but someone that can help us on the boards. I feel like it's a win-win.
Feel it's a win-win. So you big on the Mikal Bridges?
As it stands for so far, yes, because of what I've seen him do and his consistency and his productivity as far as like what he did on other squads. I believe it'll be transferable skills that he can bring to the Knicks.
Okay, now when we speak of the Mikal Bridges, right, I like to call him the Fantastic Four when we speak of that of DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, and now he's added to the roster.
Right.
What trumps, chemistry or talent? Because, yes, they all know each other.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that they're cohesive enough to win a chip. So can you answer that?
So, I believe that I believe that talent definitely trumps chemistry, because you have times where people who may not be as, you know, chemistry sound as a group of other individuals that come with talent that actually boosts the morale and the talent around them. So yes, I feel like at times talent can definitely trump chemistry, but given the fact that they consider themselves the Villanova Knicks,
Right?
right? The chemistry and the fact that they played on certain levels with each other and actually brought it to the next level and sustainable careers, I believe that in this situation, chemistry will definitely outweigh talent.
And what that means for our power forward, I'm speaking out of Julius Randle. Is he going to be a fit when you got the Villanova Knicks? Is that's going to be Tom Thibodeau's first priority? Because a lot of people say that the offense still going to run through Randle. Do you share that same sentiment, or do you think this is a different ball club, man?
I feel like right now, for sure, it's a different ball club. But at the same time, Julius Randle is Julius Randle. You know what I'm saying? Win, lose, or a draw. Julius Randle is Julius Randle. And he's not somebody that you would consider chopped liver. So when he's on and he's making it do what he do, of course, you got to run the offense through him. We know at times he has a tendency to, turn over the ball at a high rate. That's one of the downfalls of Julius Randle. But when he's on, he's phenomenal. So I feel like what we would have to do is something similar to what Shaq and Kobe did. They deferred to each other during the course of the game because at the end of the day, Shaq was Shaq, Kobe was Kobe. But in this situation, Julius is Julius, and Brunson is Brunson. They have to find a way to come together because we know that at the end of the day, this is a team. We have a league where people is building these, three-headed monsters, four-headed monsters. We got to be able to do the same thing and play on a high level to be successful.
Okay, so you team Randle, basically.
I'm Team Randle as it stands.
Okay, so you want Randle to remain a Knickerbocker.
Yes.
You think it can only help the Knicks?
I believe so.
Okay, going by his past record, when we speak of him performing in the postseason, is that a concern for you?
Most definitely. Yes. Even though I'm Team Randle, I also understand what type of player he is. And I believe that this is where, so far showing, what Brunson is made of. In that type of situation, in that type of environment, of course, this is where the two-headed monster kick in. Brunson is going to have to be the guy to step up and lead the Knicks because at the end of the day, he's also our captain. In a way where, like, Randle don't feel like he's being chucked or pushed to the side. It's definitely still got to be some type of form of chemistry, but at the end of the day, let's just hope that he put these playoff rules that he had in the past to the side and actually silence the naysayers with this core of players that he got.
Okay, now I want to talk about Jalen Brunson again. He did something very phenomenal.
Right.
He took $113 million off the table.
Yes.
So the Knicks get a center.
Right.
Who would you like to see come? This is a double sword question. Who would you like to see come to fill that void? And do you think the void really need to be filled when we speak of that of Mitchell Robinson? Do you think the writing's on the wall for Mitchell Robinson?
So, Robinson is my guy. I want to let this be known. Robinson is my guy. The only thing that bothers me with him is just the injuries. So at this point in time, he's getting older. It seems as if every season, he played, he do what he do, but at the same time, he's constantly injured. So if they can find the right fit, because that's the most important thing. What individuals don't understand is Robinson is not one of those guys that need to score to impact the game. He impacts the game by being the anchor of the team through defense, rebounding, and bringing that special energy that he brings. So if we can find a guy that can, not necessarily be an equal to that because he's his own man, he's his own player, but if we can find somebody that can somewhat bring that energy to the team and know and understand that it's not about offense and that they offense will come in the flow of the game, then we might need to entertain. I like the big guy from Utah, to be quite honest with you. He's special, and if it was a situation where unfortunately we might have to let Robinson go for him, I can kind of see that trade. I can see that being something that will embetter the Knicks. And plus, this guy, he's a stretch player. He can give us action around the rim, and he can also extend the defense. He can stretch the defense, which opens up the lanes for guys like Julius, which opened up the lane for guys like Hart, Ragul. So it's a gift and a curse, but in this situation, it's got to be the right fit.
Okay, talk to me about OG Anunoby, man. How important is him as a piece when we speak of that the position he plays?
Okay, well, once again, we're talking about an elite lockdown play. That within itself, when we are playing in a league where you have teams averaging 120 points, someone being a lockdown player that can play anyone from the 1, 2, and the 3, independent on their 4, can actually play the 4 if they one of those 4s that don't play with their back to the wall. I mean, to the ball, they back to the backboard. He's somebody that, because of his defense paralysis, is phenomenal. So you always got to have a lockdown defender besides somebody that can hold down the middle, somebody that can actually step out on the court and don't need no help playing their man. So with that being said, his track record speaks for itself. My main concern is just the injuries. That's my main concern.
So you're saying he might be injury prone? OG?
Well, as it stands so far, we have seen him on the bench more than on the floor. So that's where my issues lie.
But when he came on the floor, we played some random. We went on a 26-15?
Yes.
It was a big improvement.
It was, yeah. It was a great improvement at that. But it's just the injuries. And, let's not take nothing away from Randall, but at the same time, we know and understand what we get in both players. With OG, he's more of a lockdown defender than Randall is, but Randall is one of those guys that can give you high power offense, which is necessary because at the end of the day, making buckets is what it's about. That's how we win games. So it's one of those situations where it's a gift and a curse once again.
Okay. Last but not least, we're going to close out here. Tom Thibodeau as the Knicks head coach.
Great job.
Great job. You're not concerned about his rotation?
Well, I feel like he definitely overworked the guys during the postseason, but I also understand that, it was a situation where he had to go with what he knew worked best. Given the fact that everybody seems to be coming back this offseason healthy, and given the fact that his roster extended, I want to see what it is that he's going to be doing at this point, because at the end of the day, we need to rest up our players, because without them having rest, this is the stuff that leads to injuries because of the wear and tear.
The wear and tear.
Right.
But overall, you happy that we got Tom Thibodeau as a head coach?
Yes, because he's not going to let these guys slack. He's not going to do 30, 45-minute, practices. He's not going to be one of these guys that, let the star player get away with anything. He expects high expectations from everybody that he puts on that floor, and he demands it through the way he coached, because when he gives you the window of opportunity to step up, if you don't perform the way he wants you to perform within the system that he drew up, your ass is on the bench. And I can't knock that, because at the end of the day, it's being able to execute the plays that was drawn up by the coach.
What do you say to those who critique that the system that you just brought forth when we speak of that of Tom Thibodeau? They say that he need to have that attitude during the game, not practice, because he also will sit you down if you're not playing well in practice. But you can have an off game.
Okay, so the way I would answer that is this, right? You ever seen a boxer?
Right.
You fight the way you practice. So if you practice, if you have a certain expectation in practice, he wants that expectation that he has in practice to translate to the court. It's all about X and O's. If you cannot execute what is drawn up in practice, what makes you think that you're going to be able to execute what was drawn up in practice on the actual playing court when it's time to have somebody step up and do what needs to be done? We live in a world where right now sports is a weird entity, if you want to say that, because you have this aura where like everybody wins now, which is unrealistic. It's a situation where like you see these kids getting trophies when they came in third place. So of course, when you have a coach that demands a certain level of, competitiveness, and he demands a certain level of success, it's not going to sit right with people that want to give individuals third place trophies. This guy, he's trying to build a team of winners who can actually, at the end of the day, win and bring a chip back to New York. And that's what it's all about.
All right, and that's what it is, man. Sign off your name one more time. Let them know you on Real Talk, man.
My name is Grizzly Solomon, and thank you for having me, man. Real Talk with Nick.
That's what's up, man. We out. Peace.